Ladies, let me tell you something today that might sting a little, but it's wrapped in truth and dipped in wisdom. See, when a man is cheating, it ain't always about what he's saying, it's about what he does. Now, let me tell you something, and I want you to really hear me on this. One thing a man will always do if he's cheating, he will change the way he acts around his phone. I'm talking overnight, like a whole new man. If you've been with him long enough, you know his patterns. Maybe his phone used to just be sitting around the house, screen up, unlocked, ringing loud enough to wake the neighbors. You could answer it, check a text, look up something on Google. It wasn't a big deal. Why? Because he didn't have anything to hide. He was comfortable, secure. That's how a man acts when he's got nothing going on. But now, all of a sudden, you start noticing changes. Small at first. His phone rings and he don't even look at you. He dives across the room like it's a grenade. He picking it up like it's sacred. He's holding it to his chest like he's trying to protect a baby bird. And you're thinking, what just happened? That phone used to sit on the nightstand all day long. Now it's either in his hand, his pocket, or flipped over so you can't see the screen. That's not random, that's intentional. That's a man who don't want you to see what's going on behind that lock screen. Here's the thing, when a man starts locking his phone tighter than the Pentagon, that ain't privacy, that's secrecy. There's a difference. See, privacy is respecting space. Secrecy, that's what somebody's hiding something from you. And I ain't saying every man who has a lock on his phone is cheating. But I'm saying when the behavior changes, when it gets suddenly secretive, consistently defensive, that's your signal. You can't ignore that. Let me paint a picture for you. You're sitting on the couch, watching TV together. His phone buzzes. Used to be, he wouldn't even flinch. Might glance, might not. Now, he snatches that phone off the cushion like it's evidence in a murder trial. He don't even want you seeing who it is. Sometimes he don't even answer it, just flips it over, silences it, acts like it didn't happen. Then you ask, who was that? And he gets real defensive, starts with, why are you always asking me stuff? Or the classic, it was just work, don't worry about it. Let me tell you something, if it was just work, he'd say it calmly. He wouldn't react like you accused him of robbing a bank. That's guilt talking. And then it gets even more slick. He starts going to the bathroom with his phone. Now hold up, ain't nothing wrong with scrolling Instagram while you handle your business. But when a man never leaves his phone unattended, not even for a minute, you gotta ask yourself, why? And then the real sign, he turns off notifications, or he uses nicknames in his contacts. You see a message from Pizza Hut at 11:43 p.m. talking about, I miss you. Bro, that ain't no pepperoni craving. That's a code name. Cheaters are slick, but they ain't smooth. And the truth always leaks out through patterns. And when you confront him, he's gonna do two things, deflect and deny. That's the formula. He'll tell you, why are you all up in my business? Or I just like my privacy. Let me tell you something, and hear me good. A man who's all in with you, who loves you, who's not out here doing dirt, will never make you feel like you're the enemy for being curious. You ask him a question, he won't get mad. He'll give you peace. It's not about snooping, it's about trust. When the trust breaks, everything else breaks with it. And ladies, don't let him flip it on you. Don't let him make you feel insecure for noticing the change. Your instincts are a gift. You've been with him long enough to know what normal looks like, so when he suddenly starts guarding his phone like it's got $1 million secret inside, that ain't paranoia, that's evidence. He ain't protecting his phone, he's protecting a lie. If you gotta protect it that hard, baby, it's probably bigger than you think. So watch the signs, not with fear, but with wisdom. A faithful man don't move like that. A man who's got nothing to hide ain't living in panic every time his screen lights up. He's living in peace because he knows he's showing up right. And when a man stops acting like he has nothing to hide, that's when you know it ain't just a phone anymore. It's a whole other world he don't want you to see. Have you ever noticed how all of a sudden a man who used to be calm, cool, and collected starts getting mad at the tiniest little thing? I mean, stuff that never used to bother him. You burn the toast, he act like you crashed his car. You ask him what time he'll be home, and he flips it into a full-blown argument like you accuse him of cheating, when you ain't even said nothing like that. He's raising his voice, walking away, slamming doors over questions that used to just get a one-word answer. Now let me tell you what that is. That ain't just stress. That ain't just a bad mood. That's a strategy. When a man is cheating and he starts catching guilt, he has to do something to clear that weight off his chest. But he don't want to come clean, and he sure don't want to get caught. So what does he do? He starts flipping the script. He starts creating drama. He picks fights to make you the villain and him the victim. That way he can justify his dirt by saying, man, she's always nagging, or we don't get along anymore. He needs a reason to cheat that don't make him look like the bad guy, so he manufactures one. He'll start doing this slick little thing. He creates emotional distance through arguments. The more y'all fight, the less time y'all spend actually connecting. And that space he's creating, that's where the cheating lives. That's where he hides it. He's got to pull away from you to pull closer to someone else. He can't love two people fully, so what does he do? He makes you hard to love on purpose. He makes home feel like a battlefield, so he has an excuse to find peace somewhere else. Now let me tell you how it really plays out. You could be having a good day. You made dinner, house is clean, kids are down, music playing. You try to sit down and talk to him, maybe just ask about his day, and instead of talking, he gets short, cold, dismissive. You ask, is everything all right? And here it comes. He goes off. Why you always got something to say? Can I have 5 minutes of peace? And you're sitting there stunned because 2 weeks ago y'all were laughing about your favorite movie. Now he acts like you're the enemy just for being near him. He'll take things you say and twist them. You ask, you've been working late a lot, everything okay? A reasonable question. And he turns it into an attack. Why are you checking up on me? Or I told you I've got things going on. Why you don't trust me? What he's doing right there is flipping guilt into defense. He knows he's hiding something. So instead of answering you, he accuses you. And now you're the one backpedaling, trying to calm him down. Suddenly, you're apologizing for asking a question that you had every right to ask. That's emotional manipulation. And cheaters use it like it's second nature. It's not that the relationship suddenly got bad. It's that he's making it bad on purpose. He needs that tension, that space, that sense of we're not working to justify stepping out. Because deep down, he knows it ain't right. But if he can convince himself that you're too much or not supportive or always arguing, then he can tell himself he had no choice. Now listen to that. He had no choice. Come on. Grown men make grown choices. Nobody slips and falls into somebody else's bed. That's the decision. But in his mind, he's got to rewrite the script so he ain't the villain. And the easiest way to do that is to make you the one who's always causing problems. You start noticing he don't want to talk anymore. Conversations get shorter. He spends more time in the car when he gets home. First, he says he needs space. Then he says he's stressed. And eventually, every time y'all try to talk about the relationship, he gets mad walks away, or goes silent. That's not a man solving problems. That's a man avoiding the truth. He don't want to deal with your questions because he knows the answers might unravel his whole side game. But here's the real kicker. When you finally push for the truth, when you say, I feel like something's going on, he'll act offended. How could you say that? I can't believe you don't trust me. Girl, listen, a man who's doing right is calm when questioned. A man who's doing wrong, he gets loud. Because the louder he gets, the more he hopes you'll back down. The more dramatic he acts, the more confused you get. And that confusion, that's the cover for his guilt. If he can keep you off balance, he can keep his secret longer. So next time he starts blowing up over things that don't make sense, when every little question turns into a shouting match, ask yourself, is he really angry? Or is he hiding something behind that anger? Because a faithful man ain't scared of questions. But a cheating man, he's scared of the answers. Let me tell you what happens when a man is cheating. He starts living like he got two separate lives because, well, he does. And to do that, he got to switch up his routine. See, people in love, real love, they don't act like secret agents. They don't move like they're working undercover. But a man who's stepping out, oh, he's going to get creative. He's going to start moving different, sounding different, dressing different. He starts talking about things you ain't heard him mention before. His whole vibe starts shifting like he's becoming a new person, and not in a good way. Now, I want you to think back to when things felt normal, when everything followed a pattern. He got up at the same time every morning, left for work at 8, came home around 5:30. Maybe he hit the gym twice a week. Maybe he'd hang with the fellows on Saturdays. You could set your watch by the man. He was consistent, predictable. You knew where he was and what he was doing because he let you in on his life. Then slowly, or maybe suddenly, that routine changes. Now he's working late all the time, but the money ain't looking any different. Got a new project, he says. It's been crazy at work, he tells you. But the man never used to talk about work like this. He used to hate meetings. Now he's in them every night. Nah, see, that's when the red flag starts waving. Because the man who used to rush home to be with you now seems real comfortable being somewhere else. And here's what's slick about it. He don't just stay gone longer. He starts getting vague about where he's been. You ask him where he went after work, he gets real casual with it. Just out. Had to handle something. Handle what? Since when do you handle things after 10 p.m.? And when you ask more questions, now you're nagging. See how that works? The man don't just change his schedule, he changes the storyline. Then it gets even deeper. You start noticing things about his appearance. All of a sudden, he's putting on cologne just to go to the grocery store. This man who barely combed his beard last month is now trimming, moisturizing, ironing shirts just to run errands. He's matching his socks. Who matches socks to buy paper towels? That ain't errands, baby. That's a presentation. Somebody new is watching him and he knows it. And let's talk about the phone again for a second. Now he's got it on silent, face down, Bluetooth in the car, always mysteriously connected. You used to have the code. Now there's a new one. You ask why, and he tells you. I had to change it for security reasons. What kind of security clearance this man got all of a sudden? Last month, he couldn't remember his email password. And here's what really tells on him. He gets sloppy. That's the truth. You can only juggle two lies for so long before one starts leaking into the other. He forgets what lie he told you. Tells you he was with Mike, but Mike already posted pictures online from another state. Says he was working late, but you called the office and they said he clocked out at 4. That's the thing about lying. You got to remember every detail, and eventually he won't. And you'll catch that inconsistency, and he knows it, so what does he do? He gets ahead of it. Tells you always try to trap me. No, you're not trying to trap him. You're just finally seeing the truth show up through the cracks. You start noticing he's emotionally disconnected too. He's not interested in your day, your plans, your thoughts. Y'all don't eat dinner together like you used to. He's sitting on the other side of the room on his phone, zoned out, mentally gone. And it hurts. It hurts because it ain't just about where he's spending his time, it's about where he's not spending it. And he ain't spending it with you like he used to. You used to talk, laugh, cuddle on the couch. Now it's like you're roommates, or worse, strangers under the same roof. He used to share everything. Now you don't even know what kind of day he had. He comes home and goes straight to the shower, straight to sleep, straight to his phone. Anywhere but you. That's what cheating does. It changes a man's routine because his heart and his time ain't in the same place it used to be. Don't get it twisted. Some men are slick. They know how to play the game for a while. But the truth is, it catches up because love is about being present. And when a man is cheating, his presence fades. You feel the distance before he says a word. You feel it in the silence, in the delay, in the things he used to do without thinking, the way he used to show up, because love has a rhythm. And when that rhythm changes, when the routine gets broken without a good reason, that's when you know something deeper is going on. You want to know one of the most painful and obvious signs a man is cheating? It's not just what he does, it's what he stops doing. He stops investing emotionally. And let me tell you something, ladies, that right there, that's louder than any late night text message or secret phone call. When a man is cheating, he starts pulling away from you emotionally long before you ever find a receipt, a lipstick stain, or a strange number on his phone. See, when a man loves you, really loves you, he's connected to your soul. He cares about how your day went. He asks about your dreams, your problems, your feelings. He listens, even if he don't always know what to say because he wants to be there. That's how love works. Love don't clock out. Love is present. But when a man starts cheating, that emotional connection, it shuts down like a store going out of business. The lights are still on, but ain't nobody working the register. You'll notice it in the little things first. You tell him about your day and he gives you one-word answers. Cool. Oh yeah? That's crazy. No follow-up, no real reaction. It's like talking to a wall. This man used to ask you how that coworker you can't stand was doing. He used to check in on you before a big meeting. Now he forgets you even had it. And when you bring it up, he says, "Oh, I thought that was next week." Nah, he didn't forget because he's busy. He forgot because his emotional bandwidth is being used elsewhere. He stops asking questions. He stops checking in. He stops noticing things. You could come home with a new hairstyle, wear something different, cook his favorite meal, and he wouldn't even blink. Why? Because mentally and emotionally, he's checked out. He's not paying attention anymore. And you know what hurts even worse? You remember when he used to? You remember the version of him that lit up when you walked in the room. Now he barely looks up from his phone. And don't even get me started on physical affection. It drops off too. Now I ain't just talking about sex. I'm talking about the intimacy, the hugs, the hand-holding, the small touches, the stuff that used to make you feel safe. Now it's like you got to reach for him just to get a little bit of what used to come naturally. You lean in and he leans away. You touch his arm and he stiffens. You kiss him goodnight and he barely kisses back. That ain't by accident. That's a man trying to disconnect without saying it out loud. And it's not just physical distance, it's emotional silence. You try to have real conversations and he dodges them like bullets. You say, "Hey, I've been feeling kind of distant from you," and he hits you with, "You're overthinking," or worse, you always start drama for no reason. He doesn't reassure you. He doesn't comfort you. He just wants you to drop it. Because if you start digging deep, you might hit the truth. And the truth is, his heart is somewhere else. And he knows it. You start to feel like you're the only one trying. You plan date nights. You start conversations. You ask him what's wrong. You try to reconnect. But it's like dragging a dead horse. You're putting in all the effort, and he's just there. Physically present, emotionally gone, that's not a partnership. That's emotional abandonment. And nobody deserves that. What's crazy is if you bring it up too many times, he flips it on you. Says you're too needy or too emotional or too sensitive. That's gaslighting. He's trying to make you feel bad for noticing that he stopped showing up. You start questioning yourself, maybe I'm asking for too much. Maybe I'm being dramatic. Let me tell you something. Wanting emotional connection from your man ain't asking for too much. That's the bare minimum. That's the foundation of love. But when he's cheating, he can't give that to you. Why? Because he's giving it to somebody else. You can't pour from an empty cup, and he ain't trying to fill yours because he's busy filling hers. And even if the cheating started as just physical, over time that emotional tie shifts. You stop being the center of his world. You stop being the one he runs to. And that absence, it's not just lonely, it's a betrayal. You'll be in the same house, sharing the same bed, raising the same kids, but feel like you're living with a stranger. That kind of emotional disconnect don't come out of nowhere. It comes from somebody giving their energy and affection to someone who ain't you. And once that happens, the relationship changes. Even if the truth hasn't come out yet, you feel it before you ever see it. And when you feel it, don't ignore it. Don't second guess yourself. Don't silence your intuition just because he tells you everything's fine. Because if a man stops caring about how you feel, stops investing time and attention into your heart, if he starts looking at you like you're just background noise in his life, then I promise you, he's already given the best parts of himself away somewhere else.